Hi, my name is Regan. I'm 41 years old, and here's another snippet of Regan's random life. I mean, fuck it. This is just how I'm gonna look today. I grew up with childhood illness. Why? Maybe up front I had a lot of karma to deal with. I dealt with croup pretty bad as a baby and was hospitalized multiple times for it. And then I started getting really sick around 6, 7. I learned very young that there was a what I call mental component I had to unlock in order for me to heal. So if my lupus was in a flare, I knew that I had to unlock the mental component in order for me to heal. Nobody taught me this. It's just something I knew as a kid. And now when I look back at pictures of me as a kid, I'm like, how did I know that when I was that young? Honestly, I never really thought much about this. It's just something I've always known. By the time I was in my teens or 20s, when I would get sick, I would often just get very angry at God and just be like, I'm not going to try and figure out the mental component because fuck you for stripping my health and stripping my life away again. What was actually going on with this whole mental component thing, though? Well, from a young age, I noticed that my mind could influence my body's physical state. I didn't think of it in that terminology, but this is common for people that recover from chronic conditions and trauma. This was not something that I was taught. This was something that I intuitively learned. And again, it is common with people who heal, so take note. Your body doesn't only respond to medicine, diet, and environment, but it also responds to your beliefs, your focus, and your emotional state. Most people never consciously realize this. So what was happening? I was activating a self-regulation mechanism before I could even name it. Your central nervous system, your mind, and your spinal cord hold your chronic stress and trauma and keep it in overdrive. This suppresses healing. Hair will not stop blowing in my face, y'all. By unlocking my mind, I was calming my central nervous system. Let's talk neuroplasticity. Your brain can rewire itself based on thoughts, focus, and intention. There's a field of study called psychoneuroimmunology. That's a mouthful. This field shows that mental states, belief, focus, intention, emotional processing influence your immune system, inflammation, and your hormone balance. In other words, there is a connection between your mind, your central nervous system, and your immune system. This is where autoimmune disease is birthed. All of them. Personally, I believe that a day will come where we look at the way we currently treat autoimmune disease in Western med as barbaric. I feel like we will look at it the same way we look at how we used to bleed people. Pointless and misguided. For somebody to give all their trust, and not just your trust in your own ability to live in another person's hands, frankly, that seems extremely foolish to me. Because who's teaching the doctors and what's their agenda at the top? You see, Western med treats symptoms, inflammation, pain, flare-ups. Western med does not treat the why the immune system is attacking the body in the first place. They don't treat that part. Lupus or rheumatoid arthritis are often treated with steroids or immunosuppressants, which reduce symptoms. But they do not address underlying triggers of chronic stress, gut imbalances, or nutrient deficiencies. It's a one-size-fits-all approach, whereas autoimmune diseases are highly individualized. Genetics, environment, diet, infections, toxins, stress, trauma, abuse, all interact differently in each individual human. Standard protocols often overlook personal factors that are fueling the disease, which is why many patients feel and know they're not getting better. Western medicine historically treats the body as separate from the mind, as if you can just chop your head off and your body can still live. Stress, trauma, central nervous system dysregulation play a huge role in triggering and perpetuating autoimmune conditions. These are rarely addressed in conventional care. Holistic or functional medicine focus on diet, nutrient balance, lifestyle, detoxification, and nervous system regulation. Western medicine excels at acute intervention, such as surgeries, emergency care, broken bones. But chronic, multifunctional illnesses, like autoimmune diseases, often need a systems-based approach that is not part of standard Western med care. Drugs can suppress immune overactivity, but they do not teach the body how to rebalance itself. Many people who heal from autoimmune disease discover healing requires dietary change, nervous system work, mindset shifts, and lifestyle interventions. Things Western med just doesn't even guide their patients to. So when it comes to autoimmune diseases, Western med treats the effects rather than the whole person. And if you put all of your eggs in that basket, ignorance is not bliss in this case, y'all. If you have been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, that is life's way of giving you an intervention and telling you, yo, you need to change the way you are doing things. It is destroying your body on a holistic level. It is not saying keep living your life the way you've been living it and find the right medication, sweetheart. It is saying you gotta make some changes. It's okay if you don't know what those changes are, because once you open your mind and surrender to, okay, I am willing to make some changes, show me what to do. Just like they say, step one is admitting you have a problem. If you've been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, step one is admitting the way you've been living is a problem. Baby, your body is sacred and it's been put in your care. Don't let a Western med doctor who doesn't see you as sacred, but sees your body as disconnected from your brain. If you give your power away to them, well, then you gave your power away. You can always take your power back. And don't forget to tell your physical body every day how much you love it. Tell your cells how you love it. Tell everything how loved it is and how you are going to fight for it and never quit on it, even if you die trying. I believe in y'all.